What's up guys, Lvladen here, and today I'm coming at you with an exciting video, and I actually mean exciting. RET's finally got some attention on the PTR, and I'll be going over all the changes to Retribution and PvP at least, in addition to what I think about the new legendary that is coming to Kyrian. But we finally got our PvP talents touched up a little bit, and I'm going to go over them right now. So, the three PvP talents that were just changed are Reckoning, Jurisdiction, and Luminescence. Now, Reckoning just took a little bit of a damage nerf on the auto attack at 50 stacks, and it used to be 250%. Now it's 200%. I don't think that's a huge deal. I mean, the auto attack damage is definitely really nice, but a lot of what Reckoning does is just, it's giving us that wings. Now the bigger changes right here. One of them I really like, and the other one I think it's going to be really strong, but I don't like it. And I'll explain why right now. So Luminescence was changed, and previous to this, the way that this worked was everyone within, I believe, 20 yards of the paladin would be healed for 20% of the healing done to the paladin by other people. So not if a paladin would word glory himself, but if someone else healed the paladin. What it changed to is now when healed by an ally, allies within your auras gain 5% damage and healing for 5 seconds. Gain 5% damage and healing. And the best part about this is it applies to yourself. Now, if you're playing healer DPS 2s, you're pretty much guaranteed to have full uptime on this buff. So it's flat 5% increased damage and healing for both you and your partner. Now, maybe not your partner as much because, your partner might not be always within your devotion aura. But if it hits yourself, when you're healed by an ally. And I tested that with a hunter mending bandaging me. So even mending bandage procs it. Now, I think this talent might be a little boring. When I did do my Honor 9.1 talent rework, I'm glad they're touching the talents, but I was kind of not about 4 passive damage increase talents for RET. We already have Lawbringer, which is a passive damage increase, Vengeance Aura, passive damage increase, or Reckoning, essentially a passive damage increase. Talents like those, even where is it here? Ultimate Retribution, in essence, is a passive damage increase. So this in itself is the most possible passive damage increase they could have done, just flat 5%. So it is what it is. Glad to see a change. Definitely going to be strong. Now, the honor talent that I'm excited about is Jurisdiction. Now, this is definitely going to make a comeback. It hasn't been running a long time, honestly. Like, we have so many good talents that we can't really pick Jurisdiction often. But now this might make a difference if we run Jurisdiction with Law and Order. And what the reworked Jurisdiction does now is it increases the range of Blade of Justice by another 10 yards and Divine Storm by 4 yards. And this is actually huge. Guys, take a look at this. So I am currently at the max possible range for Divine Storm to hit this dummy. We're looking at this dummy. I'm going to go ahead and Judgment into a Blade of Justice. Look at how far we are, and boom, it hits him. I Divine Stormed, and I hit him from this far away. Like, for some reason, this is further than the Final Verdict range. Maybe a bit of a bug, because it's so far away. Oh, he parried me right there. Okay. Apparently you can parry Divine Storm, but yeah. That's very, very far away. Now, the range for Blade of Justice is even further. We're gonna go all the way over to right here. Let me back up just a little bit more. Okay. Boom. Look at how far away that is. So we have a very, very long range slow when combined with something like a Law and Order. Where is it? Down Law and Order. We just have a super long slow. Awesome. Love it. Love to see it. And not to mention, this will help against Mistweavers and Resto Druids, both of which are making big comebacks in 9.1 in terms of at least 2v2. Druids are pretty much back already in full swing, but Mistweaver's definitely next patch. The last thing I'll be covering is the new legendary, and I'll leave a link in the description because unfortunately on PTR you still can't test it. There is a legendary vendor in Ouroboros, and you learn all the patterns, but it is actually just not yet implemented on the PTR as of whatever today is. I think it's like the 29th, even though the build just went out. So maybe it will be up later tonight. Who knows? So what the legendary does is, for 30 seconds, every 10 seconds after you cast your Divine Toll, your Divine Toll will recast for 60% of the damage. Now, it's unconfirmed if Ringing Clarity or the Pelagos Mastery buff right here. Let me pull it up. Hang on, wait a minute. Where are my soulbinds? Okay, maybe I won't pull it up. Pelagos is just not there anymore, apparently. Okay, well, essentially what Pelagos does is every time you cast Divine Toll, you get a small mastery buff. It's big in PvE, but it's nerfed in PvP for 10 seconds. Now, if the Divine Toll that proc from the legendary also proc the Pelagos mastery buff, hands down, legendary is going to be busted. It's going to be saying it's going to be best in slot. If it only procs the Ringing Clarities, that will take a little bit of testing. I still think Final Verdict might be a little bit better there. Because obviously it's just consistent damage, and sometimes the Ringing Clarities aren't going to proc. And if it doesn't proc either, I don't think it's going to be worth it at all, at least in PvP, because it's just a few extra Holy Power and an extra Judgment versus, 15% increased damage on your Final Verdict with Disarm Protection and more range. So it's going to depend. But guys, all in all, I'm super excited about Jurisdiction. I definitely think I'll be running this. Luminescence might take the spot of Aura of Reckoning. I'm not sure. So maybe the talent setup... There's going to be so many different ways to set up RET PvP talents right now, because they're all really good. You can go for absolute full passive damage increase, something like running Vengeance, Aura, and Luminescence. So triple passive. You could even swap out one of these for Lawbringer for more passive, but I actually think that Vengeance Aura and Luminescence and Aura of Reckoning all outclass Lawbringer at this point in the game. You could also do setups like a full utility setup, such as Blessing of Sanctuary plus Jurisdiction plus Lawbringer, or I'm sorry, Law and Order. These two will go really well together. It's going to be up to the player to determine, do you need Sanctuary this game, or can you run something like Vengeance Aura or Aura of Reckoning, and even in some cases, Luminescence. It'll take more PvP testing. Unfortunately, right now, can't test the legendaries. You can't mount on the PTR, otherwise you DC either. And there are other random DC bugs. So I was doing a bit of dueling. And I was only able to do 2 duels before getting DC'd in the 3rd, and I haven't been able to duel since. So, yeah, bit of a rough PTR, but I do have a little bit of excitement for 9.1 now. I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed, feel free to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LvladenPvP, and I'll see you next video. Peace.